acidification. Let's talk more about the science behind this experiment. This experiment shows a classic egg and salt water and vinegar ocean acidification simulation. As you can see, one egg is placed in salt water on the left with a pH of 7, which is neutral, and another egg is placed in vinegar on the right with a pH of 6.2, which is a more acidic environment. This experiment represents the negative effects that ocean acidification has on coral reef ecosystems. As you can see, there are many air bubbles accumulating around the egg on the right. This means the vinegar or acetic acid is reacting with the calcium carbonate shell. The bubbles are the gaseous carbon dioxide ions being released from the outer shell layer, thus degrading the shell before our very eyes. This sort of phenomenon takes place throughout the whole video. This just goes to show how fast the shell or coral skeleton can degrade in a not-so-habitable environment. Notice how the egg rotates? It's due to the change in chemistry inside the egg. Some of the vinegar is now seeping inside the egg due to osmosis, which throws off its center of gravity. How this compares to coral reefs is once their algae, symbionts, or zooxanthellae have been released due to ocean warming stressors, the calcium carbonate skeleton is now exposed. With ocean warming and having a high rising acidic environment, corals have a harder time recovering, especially when these events weaken the structures, thus becoming really brittle and possibly having no grounding surface for a coral polyp to form and thrive. Ocean acidification is a phenomenon when ocean water pH changes to a more acidic level over time. This is due to high amounts of dissolved carbon dioxide, which results in the construct of a new compound called carbonic acid. The acidity of the ocean can be detrimental to many marine organisms, especially those with calcium carbonate shells or internal structures like calcium carbonate skeletons. Coral reefs have calcium carbonate skeletons that degrade over time due to high ocean acidity. Ocean pH levels fluctuate to large quantities of carbon dioxide being dissolved in the ocean. The carbon dioxide in the atmosphere comes from the burning of fossil fuels, which can come from coal, oil, or natural gas, can release high amounts of greenhouse gas emissions. This is very much a human-influenced activity, but there are a few different viewpoints on this topic, such as ocean acidification is not human-induced, as well as the oceanic environments aren't a concern for most community conservational efforts, since most of the marine destruction and negative human impacts isn't physically seen by the majority, therefore nothing detrimental is happening. This is very much an out-of-sight, out-of-mind kind of issue. In order to decrease the amount of greenhouse gases entering the atmosphere, we need to do our part in mitigating such activities. Why does it matter, you may ask? This matters because as the ocean pH increases, the coral reefs have a harder time to adapt to the newly acidic environment. Therefore, corals will get stressed, thus leading to coral death and mortality. We need our coral reef ecosystems in order to feed the population, have job security, and most importantly, allow ecotourism to continually educate the public on its conservation. Let's do our part as a community and contribute to help give the marine wildlife in the ocean a fighting chance to thrive again.